Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, great friend of the show. He'll be in quite a bit. We got basketball coming up.
Ooh-wee.
And going strong. A lot of surprises. Again, the weird league, just like the NFL. The NBA seems weird. Alaa Abdelnaby. Alaa, what's up, buddy?
How are you, pal? What's up, John?
Hi.
Good to have you back. So we were talking about Portland, right?
Right.
9-2.
Yeah.
And
How did that happen?
Who's the kid on there? You were just talking about the
Aldridge.
first. Yeah, Aldridge. How good is that?
LaMarcus Aldridge is a heck of a ball player. When
Something
he
else.
first came in the league, I was still working for NBA TV. And if you think about this guy, 6'11", can shoot. I mean, he's got a soft touch,
That's
like a
unbelievable.
guard,
Yeah.
right? But he plays the power forward spot, and you can never block his shot because he's so long.
Right.
So think about it. It's a death sentence when the ball goes inside because there's nothing you can do.
He's unstoppable.
He's
Like
unstoppable.
almost like when Kareem had
The sky
introduced
hook.
the sky hook.
Absolutely.
People forget that was
He's that
unstoppable.
good. But again, as a former Trailblazer, it's kind of nice to see Portland doing well because they hadn't had success in a long time.
No, I know. It's been a while. It's
been a while.
But they're 9-2, right, John? You said they're
Yeah,
9-2?
yeah, they're playing great.
What about everyone says the Pacers are gonna,
Pacers are playing great too.
Pacers are gonna beat Miami. It's almost for sure. I don't know. I really.
Listen, the
I get scared.
Pacers are great right now. They got one loss so far. They're going to get better when they get Danny Granger back, their best player, who they played all last season and the first, I guess, month of this season without. I mean, this guy is their leading scorer. He's a vet. He's been in the league at least 10 years, an 8-time All-Star, I want to say something like that. And they did everything they did last year, taking Miami to the brink without him.
Yeah.
So to bring him back, add him to Paul George and the big fella inside from Georgetown, they've got a nice chance of upsetting Miami.
So are they your kind of favorite for the?
Let's put it this way: Miami's still my favorite, but if Indiana were to beat them,
still your favorite?
Yeah, no, they're still my favorite. Because
Even the way they're playing?
Oh no, listen. What my dad told me the other day: if you trip coming out of the house in the morning, does that mean your whole day is bad? Right?
Well, what's his record? What's their record?
They're
Miami?
7-3.
Yeah, I
They're
mean, they're
7-3.
still in the
I mean,
mix.
it's still, yeah. I mean, Miami reminds me of Eddie Murphy. They could turn it on whenever they want. You ever see Eddie Murphy get
Sure.
interviewed? He's real serious and he can be funny at any
Right,
second.
right,
Like,
right.
Yeah, I understand about moving back, but I got that over here.
Right. I saw him in concert,
Right, yeah.
in college when he did the Raw tour.
Yeah,
and
me too. Yeah.
I saw him afterwards because we were friends with Robert D. Wax's daughter. He was the white-haired fella in all the videos. He was his manager.
Yeah.
And Alana, his daughter, went to Duke with me, and he was in Raleigh. We got to see him afterwards, and it was night and day, Artie. The guy you saw, so energetic and had the room in the palm of his hand. When we went and met him in the dressing room, he didn't say 2 words.
Well, like in an interview, like he does that too.
Yeah, he's real
He can be
shy.
funny at any moment. And
Yeah.
that's what the Heat are like. I think they can be whatever. Then
Yeah,
all
they
of a
can
sudden-
turn it on when they need it.
Yeah, and they'll beat you.
I think another
Like a
thing.
Sparta.
I think another thing too is when you win 2 in a row, you've been in the finals 3 years in a row now. You know what it takes to get there. I think mentally you can relate to this, John. As a team, nobody ever comes out and says it. But as a team, you kind of pull back a little bit, knowing, listen, it's in us. We know we can turn it. Yeah, we can turn it on, like you said, when we want to. But let's not wear ourselves out right now because the most important thing is to be healthy once the playoffs
See, but
start.
what you just said is the reason hardly anybody ever three-peats, I think, because they
hard.
get a little too complacent.
Yeah.
And that's what Jordan never did. Jordan, I think, kept pounding it on because he was so competitive. And that last year, their best season.
98.
Well, yeah, right. It was the last year.
Right.
So I think maybe you get too complacent going, I got this before you know you lose.
Right.
You really, that's where you mentally got to stay. And forget about the commercial endorsements and all this
no
other
distractions,
stuff. And
right.
bringing a soccer team to Miami with David Beckham and all those other guys. You got to play basketball.
Got to play basketball.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, as good as MJ was, you never saw him and who had more endorsements than him?
No, you're
who,
right.
after practice was over, was the busiest guy on earth?
He just
Who
loved
had to
winning.
run for me. But it never took away from, he realized what made him that way.
Sure.
Kicking everybody's butt. I got to make sure I'm good enough and prepared enough to always kick everybody's butt. That's tough to do.
When 98 was a 72 win year, when they had the 72 win?
No.
96.
96 is when they had the 72, but I thought you were talking about the last because he went out knocking
No,
that shot
I
against
was saying,
Utah.
yeah, it was always,
Right.
yeah, okay, so 96 was the fourth, but the first back when he, yeah.
Right. That's a lot of wins,
Yeah,
too.
that was when he really wanted to prove something.
Yeah.
Is that what it was, 72 wins?
Yeah.
That's a lot of wins. Think about
That's
10,
insane.
10 losses over. That's one a month.
Remember, like 97, 98, he broke Steve Kerr's nose in practice?
Well, I was just going to say, when
Did
Artie
he?
was
'Cause he
talking
was-
about...
not on purpose.
Oh, no, on purpose.
Well, he was
mean he
mad.
punched
Yeah,
him in
he
the
punched him in the
face?
face.
Yeah, he didn't mean to break it, but he meant to punch him.
Wow.
Remember B.J. Armstrong, the
Yeah,
point guard?
sure,
BJ's
yeah.
a buddy of mine, the Iowa product. And I used to, we wouldn't see each other all the time. We played against each other in the finals one year, but we would always see each other in the summertime. And I would always say, because I know MJ a little bit, but I never played with him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, what is it about you guys that keeps it going? And straight up, MJ.
Yeah. Well,
Because
sure.
when your best player is the first one in, the last one to leave, takes the most shots
can't
after
slack,
practice,
yeah.
who's going to sneak off earlier?
I know, you
what
gotta
I mean?
stay-
Scott
you gotta
Williams,
stay there.
You got to stay there. And then he's the kind of guy, like you guys mentioned, that would punch you right in the face
Nah,
if you didn't
it's
do what
like,
you
it's
had
like
to
I
do.
try to set the example with the crew here. Like they see me getting here every night at 9:58 consistently.
Setting the tone.
And I'm in my car by 1:01 a.m. I'm out and I'm trying to set that example.
Do you feel like LeBron was trying to do the same thing, calling out his team for playing terrible defense?
Well, I like what he did.
I like it too,
Yeah.
but isn't he? He's playing bad defense too, isn't
Well,
he?
absolutely. And I think that's part of the thing is you
That's
can't come
the
in and
problem.
go, it's only you guys. It's all of us. But the good thing about all of that is he has control of the locker room because what did they do? They responded.
Right.
They put if they wouldn't have responded, that would have been more worrisome because now you're thinking, was anybody even listening to this guy? I mean, is he the leader of this team? He's the most popular guy, but is he the leader? Turns out he really is.
Well,
Yeah.
Jay-Z says the best though. That Jesus is playing LeBron and he's playing Dwayne Wade, right? Is that in that song?
Oh.
What song is that in? If Jesus is paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne.
Oh
Wade.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What does that mean? That Jesus pays LeBron and he's paying Dwayne Wade?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We have to get the lyrics.
Yeah.
I want to
I don't
dissect
understand,
this
I don't
more.
understand that one. It's another lyric where he's
It's
comparing
a
himself to
mystery.
Jesus.
It's a mystery.
Meaningful.
So what about the Bulls? What's going on with them?
Yeah, so
What's
they
like
beat the
Derrick
Pacers.
Rose? Yeah.
Your wonderful producer Dan here is worried as well. Dan, we were talking about it via text the other day. They've got a small window. This team. I mean, Derrick Rose is a young man. The question with him is, can he stay healthy for an 82 game season and the playoffs?
He's young. Is he 23?
He's like 23, 24.
He's young,
He's young.
yeah.
He's young because he left after only 1 year in school.
Right.
But
Don't you think as he gets older, he'll learn how to take care of himself a little bit better, and that'll help?
his game is about quickness and getting to the bucket, and those confrontations is long. I mean, a guy like Allen Iverson was so special because he was so small and got knocked down all the time, but he got up all the time.
Right.
Now the problem with Derek is he's proven to be getting hurt. And that's a problem. So you will have to adjust his game. But right now, how do you give up the one advantage you have, which is being able to blow by people? But again, Boozer's getting older. Dang is getting older. These guys got to start doing it soon because if not,
they're gonna have to win a title in the next
2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yep, next 2-3 years. Small window.
I don't know. Well, how's he been playing, Derrick Rose? He been playing good lately? Yeah,
He can't
all right.
shoot.
He's
Nothing-
okay. He's
yeah.
okay. He looks a little out of sync still. And you got to remember the guys on the team, they're not used to having him back either. This is all new to them as well. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a point guard who can score, but he needs to get his teammates involved as well. So he has to make good decisions.
Yeah.
When is it my time?
So much is on him.
Yeah, because the ball's in his hand constantly.
They need another score. They need another score. I was telling them that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
There's a lot of
Boozer's
pressure.
unreliable.
There's a lot of pressure on him because he's following the footsteps of Jordan in that
Right.
town, and he's all over the place. He's
All
the
over.
NBA.
He is Chicago.
He's the NBA's baby too.
Right.
I mean, he's new sneakers
Right.
for him, everything.
Yep. A lot is expected of him.
Can't Boozer be that guy that can score? I mean, he's had games where he's been on
Is he
fire.
capable?
and
Yeah, but I think
consistent.
they're few and far between. You know what I mean?
He's just getting older.
I
and he can't.
think that's what it is. I hate to, I don't want to come up with other excuses. I'm just going to leave it at, the fact that he's aging now. You know what I mean? The fact that here's the other thing.
He has some games where
He's a monster.
Yeah.
How old's
absolutely. He's
Boozer?
He's got
unstoppable.
to be 30.
Oh.
He's got to be at least 30. Right, Dan? He's got to be at least 30. Because he played in 2001 on that championship. 31. There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Elrod.
You forget that that's
Time
old.
goes
The
by.
31's old in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, again, how many more years can he play at that level? Because when you're at 31, it starts to wane.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can tell you from personal experience, 30 is when the wheels came off for me.
Well, football,
but you don't even know it.
Fullback football, man.
Well,
That's tough.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you don't realize it,
Sure.
and no one can tell you. No one. You refuse to believe it.
But how deflating is it when you get into a situation you've been in a million times on the
You
football field
somehow
and the
justify
one time,
it.
well, what I'm saying is, but it's still startling when you can't make the play you used to make your whole life.
It's amazing, though, man. It's amazing. Your mind somehow tricks you into rationalizing in a way. You know,
absolutely.
like, I fell flat on my back when I tried to lead block on this guy who I usually just owned. But, you know, I slipped. My cleats were too short.
I was off balance.
Yeah, there's always something. It's crazy.
You get frustrated.
You trick yourself.
I'm frustrated I can't make plays against softball I used to make.
Right. Because
you gotta pick up a ball like, oh my God, that's my stomach in front of me.
When you've always been able to overcome like obstacles and achieve and focus, you know, all of your effort into something and be able to do it.
you're not used to failing. It's how you got to where you are by being successful.
All of a sudden, man,
You gotta fail to be successful.
Well, that's the thing. When you fail as a professional athlete, you're done.
And I think the idea of not getting better too worries you because you're always trying to get better. And when you get to the point where, like, man, I don't know if I'm plateauing
where you're not, you're like,
bit.
but now my knowledge is supporting me, and I
Let's
can
hope
play
so.
faster
Let's hope
because
so.
I don't have to think about it as much.
Right. I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about that actually. We have an explanation on that Empire State of Mind lyric, Shane.
So according to rapgenius.com, in the song, he doesn't say Jesus, he says Jeezy, so Young Jeezy.
Oh, Young Jeezy is playing?
In Young Jeezy's 24-23 song, he says, I used to pay Kobe, now I pay LeBron, referring to their jersey numbers,
Gotcha.
24 and 23 for $24,000 for a kilo of cocaine. Now he gets it for the reasonable price of 23. So they're saying that Jay-Z is saying, okay, if Young Jeezy's playing 23,000, when he says I'm paying Dwayne Wade, he's saying
Artie?
I only pay 3,000 for
Boy,
it.
that is deep.
That's deep. That's from one line. So can you imagine the rest of the song? We can dissect it all night.
Like if we, no, it's not Jesus, idiot. It's Jeezy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's what rapgenius.com does. You can click on any line.
That's
and it'll give you
hilarious.
the
Wow, that's actually
funny.
not bad. That's actually not bad.
That's a funny
deep
website. You can stay on that. Stay on that forever. Hey, Young Jeezy's one of my favorite. Swizz Beatz is still my favorite.
Whatever happened to mess around and got a triple-double by Ice Cube? Remember that?
That's
Today's
right.
a good day.
That's right.
Ooh, today
Stuff's
is a
getting
good day.
deeper and deeper. Well, that's the thing about songs. You could call them genius, but these guys write stuff that just means something to them a lot of the time. So how is it,
More often than not. And the thing is, too, again, I don't know if I'm a rap connoisseur.
Dylan. I mean, I'm not even rapping. It
but
goes
I
back
wanna
to
hear
Dylan.
Right, I want to hear a story.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to hear about your cars and what your party looks like with how many girls in bikinis. That's not a story. That doesn't interest me.
But it goes back to Dylan with the Subterranean Blues. We talks about the Vandals took the handle, or, and there's some thing where these vandals vandalized a college campus that he played, and they vandalized a pump for water, and they ruined the handle. And he just put that in his song. The Vandals took the handle, and it's just something that happened that he knew about.
There you go.
And you read about it, you go, oh, that's what that meant.
Right.
You don't know what half
Right.
this stuff means. Right. Yeah. So rarely are they a story, but
Hopefully it just sounds good.
that you understand. Right. It's all about the music, the melody. Like I told you, like in that N-Words in Paris, it's about dun 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 dun. You get that going?
Sure.
You just got to get people going like this.
Right.
You can rap anything you want over it.
The amazing thing is, I completely respect what you do, you and other people, but to make music, that just seems like on another level to me, don't you think? Like just imagine the feeling of waking up in the morning, jumping in your car, and turn on the radio, and it's your song.
We were just
That's
talking.
gotta be
We were just
such
talking about
a
Hendrix.
trip.
We were
Right.
talking about Hendrix before the show. Like he just could listen to a song,
Right.
and just play
it.
Yeah.
No music, no sheet music, no nothing.
What's the story?
Because we were listening to Like a Rolling Stone by Dylan, and we were talking about how Hendrix's version was great.
I like his version.
And it's funny because he's like, this is a song by Bob Dylan, that's his grandmother over there. So he's like tripping
sounds like he's
hard
tripping
on
on
LSD. And then he misses a verse. He's like, yeah, it's okay. I know I missed a verse. It's all right. But the story was when the Beatles put out Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah, he covered that.
He covered it the next
in
day.
front of with Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
Paul
but
McCartney was there.
a tribute to
Yeah,
Paul.
the next
But it was
day.
the next day. The album was released, and it was like the next day. Or
How many
that
times do you think he
weekend.
heard it in one day?
Right, he heard it. He heard it once. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, here we
Let's go do this.
Just had an ear for
So
it.
that's
Yeah,
the biggest thing for him was probably just figuring out the lyrics, learning the lyrics, because the music was so obvious.
There was a really interesting thing on PBS, a 2-hour thing on him like about a week ago, and in that piece was that
Hendrix?
story.
Oh, really?
Paul McCartney tells the story,
Oh, wow.
which is really cool because he's like, the album just came out that week, and I'm sitting here and he's playing the whole album, and
Yeah.
he starts off with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart. Pretty cool.
see,
What a talent, huh?
Hendrix, got taken
Every
out.
time I go to
Best ever.
Cafe Wah, I'm reminded of him being there because that's where he first played when he came to New
Well,
York.
him and
Jimmy
Dylan.
James and the
Yep.
Blue Flames.
Yep.
Him and
he
Dylan?
was Jimmy James.
It's so funny. It's you can still it's right next to the Comedy Cellar where I do
Yep.
stand up all the time.
Yeah.
Cafe Wah, the same guy owned it for years.
Yep.
And the
Go
guy,
downstairs, that little dingy, tight spot.
the guy who used to own the Comedy Cellar, he's dead now. Manny. He was managing Cafe Wah the day Dylan walked in. He was 20
Really?
years old.
Wow.
And he told him he sucked. He said, "Go back to Minnesota."
Can't understand a word you're
He
saying.
didn't think he was good. He was like a jazz fan. So.
Thank God he doesn't buy records.
Yeah. But Hendrix, Joplin, Dylan, they all walked in, and the place is still standing.
Still standing.
Right on the
Van
corner
Halen,
still,
too,
yeah.
right? Van Halen has their history there,
Van
too.
Halen has a little bit of history because the other guy who owned the place was another guy named Manny.
Okay.
And that was David Lee Roth's uncle.
Gotcha.
Uncle Manny.
Because they just did a set last year for their latest album
That's
at
why.
Cafe
yeah.
Wah.
Their history, they're more of an LA band.
Right.
But their history, so they don't have a ton of history there, but the connection
That's
they
their
have
connection.
is his uncle.
Gotcha.
You know?
Makes sense.
But I really I love all that history stuff and the music. Yeah, absolutely.
You go there now on a Tuesday night, the music's still good. It's
Yeah,
jazz.
they get a lot of
you know
good-
what I mean? But it's still incredible. There's nothing like live music, period.
Right.
They get a lot of good bands.
They do.
The Eric, real quick in New Orleans, college basketball. Eric. Eric's not your turn.
This is normal.
Eric. Lake Pontchartrain. Eric.
Hey,
Eric.
hey, where you at, man?
How you doing? What are you playing? A little guitar?
Yeah. Well, I was going to tell y'all, who that, man? I want to just call and say,
Yeah.
yeah, just your book is killer, and who that, and go Pokes, man. OSU won tonight, and I love it.
LSU basketball you're talking about?
No, OSU, Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State.
Marcus Smart was just killing those fools, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Smart. Yeah, that's who it is.
Marcus Smart was more man than anybody else Memphis had on the court. Memphis has 4 guards that can score and maybe have a shot to play at the next level. At least 2 of them do. And he outplayed all 4 of them.
Wow.
You're an Oklahoma State fan, Eric?
That's my brother-in-law and my sister went, but don't put that on the air because they
Well, you just said it,
find
Eric.
out that they're Artie Lange fans.
I'm watching the game today, and I'm thinking, what is Stillwater, Oklahoma like? You ever been there?
Oh yeah, and
Am I missing
got laid-
anything?
I got
Am I
laid
missing?
there, man.
Oh, okay then. There you
Couple
go.
Indian girls.
Listen to Eric. That's what it's like.
Let me shut up. Go on.
Picture you're in a diner with 50 guys like Eric. That's what it's like.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of weed, you know.
No.
All right. I don't want to go too far. I love y'all. Who that? I just had to call in. I love y'all. Who that?
All right. We met that guy in person in New Orleans. Oh my God.
Does he look like he sounds?
That guy was scary.
Was he?
Yeah, what's he look like? I mean, I have a picture in my mind, right?
He looks a little bit
Long
like
hair?
He's got a mullet. He's got a
Long
mullet
hair.
going.
Does he look like he lives
bit.
around other people, or
Yeah.
does he just not run into other people? That
looks like he's
because
got
the
some-
bayou I picture like you could be out there forever,
Yeah.
and not run into anybody who doesn't have like a motorboat.
He's got a mullet and he's got a couple of scars on his face, like he could have been in a crystal meth
He
accident.
look like a trapper.
Well, he looks like a guy who like maybe had an explosion, a meth accident. Who da. I was cooking. Who da. That's That's my favorite thing about there's been crystal meth kingpins and cocaine kingpins. Cocaine kingpins, they all look like smooth guys, Cuban guys or whatever, nice tan like Tony Montana or something. And crystal meth kingpins are like white trash kids with a mullet and Missouri whose nose is like blown off, half an hour. This football season, DraftKings.com can be crowning you a fantasy football millionaire. Yep. The winner of DraftKings Millionaire Grand Final will be winning $1 million. DraftKings is a new, fun way to play fantasy football. It's one-day fantasy sports. You can win serious cash every week. DraftKings makes watching football way more fun and exciting than it used to be. It's super easy. Just select the right players, and you can wake up tomorrow morning with hundreds, thousands, maybe even $1 million in your wallet. One guy won $100,000 his very first time. Celebrate with DraftKings this football season and their Millionaire Grand Final. Right now, my listeners get free entry into the Millionaire Grand Final. Enter Artie, A-R-T-I-E, at DraftKings.com for your free shot to be crowned a fantasy football millionaire. But you got to enter Artie today at DraftKings.com. For details and your free entry, visit DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. We'll take a break. Back with more show after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.